Aloha everyone and welcome to Skincare with Hyram. If you don't know who I am, my name's Hyram and I'm passionate about teaching you how to perfect your skincare routine. So make sure you subscribe to my channel and hit the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week. Oh my gosh, I just realized I'm not wearing either of my earrings. I always like to have the sparkle, goddammit. But it's mostly because I lose one earring. Like, I lose earrings all the freaking time. Sunglasses, clothes, skincare, my dignity, but especially earrings. And it's always one. I always lose one earring. I'm like Kim K when she lost her earring. That's a perfect segue into this video. Perfect transition if I do say so myself. Because today's video we are talking about the one, the only, the... what's a word to describe this? Infamous? Sure, we'll use that. Skincare brand Kylie Skin. Now, if you are an old time subscriber and for some reason have decided to stick around for this long, God bless your mental sanity, that's all I can say. But a long time ago when Kylie Skin was first announced, I made a video called Do Not Buy Kylie Skin. I think it's called that. Something really bold. And in that video, I roasted Kylie Skin hard, bitch. Specifically for one product, the Walnut Scrub. Now, when this brand was announced, this was the first product that was announced with it. And I remember looking at the product type and immediately making a video about it because I was like, hey, Kylie's really popular among teenagers and they're going to buy whatever she recommends. So I have to tell people now that walnut scrubs are just not the way to go. That was last summer and I think I had about 4,000 followers and that video blew the fuck up. I think in one day I got like 200,000 views, which for someone who was averaging like 150 views a video, that was pretty insane. And looking back on that video, I do think to myself, Hyram, you were a bit harsh. Don't get me wrong, I hate the walnut scrub and I hate any type of physical exfoliant like that. But titling your video, Do Not Buy This Specific Brand, is a little bit intense. And that was my first wake up call that, oh, Hyram, people are watching your videos. Not that I put a filter on myself, I've just learned how to be a little bit more professional in the way I communicate things and not so extreme. Ooh, if I made that video today, oh, the backlash I would get. No bueno. And I honestly thought that was the end of it for my conversation around Kylie Skin. But I have been seeing you guys request me make a video about Kylie Skin for a long time because she's come out with a bunch of new products. And some of the formulas I do have to say are an improvement from what I initially saw. So I figured why not do a Truth About Kylie Skin video. If you aren't familiar with my Truth About series, I go in hard against brands and determine whether I think they're worth it or not based off of their ingredient list. Because ingredients don't lie, bitch. We know this, we're educated. And I like to go through some of their best sellers. And rather than me making a video saying, ooh, I like how this felt and smelt and it was lovely, I go based off the ingredient list. Because even if I like the product, that doesn't mean you will. That says nothing about your skin and is not helpful in any way to you. But learning about ingredients is helpful, and that's where I hope I can contribute. So let's get into it. So I really don't need to introduce Kylie Skin because everyone on the fucking earth knows who Kylie Jenner is. We all know about her, and most of us know at this point that she sold her skincare brand for a shit ton of money. Well, when I say sold, I mean she sold the majority stock. My brain is not meant for business. So at this point, I really have to wonder how involved Kylie is in these new products that her brand has been releasing because she sold the majority shares of her brand quite a while ago, which means the majority decisions for the actual product themselves are likely not mostly made up to her. At this point, I don't even know if she can make the decisions for her products. But just in case, and because, you know, this is her brand, we're going to assume that she had some major say in these formulas. And as usual, I'm going to be listing these from my least favorite to my favorite, starting, do I even need to say it? The Walnut Scrub. I mean, if you really want to know my full thoughts on this product, you may as well watch my old video. I mean, I go into full detail there, but my mindset is with all the innovation and technology advancements, incredible ingredients, non-sensitizing agents, why the hell are we still using physical scrubs? Why? America, explain. I mean, I know why. It's because customers really like the feel of scrubs. But skincare companies should know better and we should set ourselves at a higher standard to not release any more scrubs that are going to be overly abrasive to the skin. Brands should start caring more about the health of people's skin and only release products that are beneficial to the health of the skin as opposed to getting a quick buck by releasing a type of product that they know ignorant consumers will enjoy. So yeah, my position is exactly the same as when I first created that video. I'm just not a fan. In that week or few weeks though, I think I gained like 12,000 subscribers. So even though, Kylie, I completely disagree with your product, I do have to say thank you for jumpstarting my channel. I couldn't have done it without you. And I'm sorry I had to roast you so hard, but girl, you were asking for it. The next product is the Sunscreen Oil SPF 30. Now this is one of the recent products from the brand and I haven't seen too much about it on social media. Like I have seen, you know, product pictures and some skinfluencers talking about it, but I haven't seen this in the market like really become a huge hit. And I'm honestly a little grateful for that because looking at this ingredient ingredient list, I was just shaking my head the entire time. They say that this is an SPF 30 sunscreen and that it is reef safe in Hawaii. However, by reef safe, they mean that they only don't formulate with oxybenzone, and they pretty much use every single mainstream chemical UV USA filter besides that. And I will say, I don't like it when brands say that they're reef safe just by excluding oxybenzone, because, and this is a controversial opinion, I know a lot of people don't agree with me, totally fine, but I still just, you know, living in Hawaii, being right next to coral reefs, and knowing researchers here who study the toxicity of these ingredients, I just don't feel they're necessary to a product. And when we have mineral filters and innovative Korean sunscreen filters that work so much better, not to mention the increased sensitivity from chemical UV filters that a lot of people experience in their skin, I'm just like, why do we even need to have it in a product? That being said, I will say this is definitely a personal opinion of mine, and plenty of people disagree with me and have enough data to back their arguments up, and I completely respect that. This is really just my personal preference, but it does bug me when I see so many brands saying reef safe, kind of creating an assumption from the consumers that it's a mineral sunscreen when in reality it's not. And these UV filters can be sensitizing to the skin. I also don't like that denatured alcohol is formulated at the top of the ingredient list, but I will say denatured alcohol is typically used alongside chemical UV filters as a delivery agent to make sure it works better. But I still think there's better delivery agents out there, and overall I'm just not a fan of denatured alcohol. I can be a little bit forgiving, but in addition to this, it's also formulated with palm oil. Now, if you don't know the sustainability story of palm oil, it's a tricky one. Palm oil is not sustainable at all. It's one of the reasons for deforestation of rainforests. And while it's not the main reason that deforestation is occurring and palm oil is the reason that the earth is dying, I'm still just like, if it's not necessary and we don't need to use it and it has a bad impact on the environment, why are we using it? There's just better ingredients out there that are also hydrating. And the icing on this cake, it has fragrance. My best friend. I love fragrance. Again, I feel like I don't need to say this because I say it in pretty much every single video on my channel. Fragrance isn't necessary to a formula and is only increasing the potential of irritation in people with really sensitive skin. And alongside these other irritants and sensitizing agents, I think this product is a recipe for irritation and disaster. The one good thing is that it does have a pretty good concentration of kiwi oil, which is one of the main ingredients that Kylie Skin kind of prides themselves on formulating with, and kiwi oil is amazing for its hydrating and antioxidant abilities. Definitely a good ingredient, but as you will come to see, this is one of the only products where I see a good concentration of kiwi oil, because in the rest of the products, I mean, it's hardly there, girl. Kiwi oil is in her formulas, more like, that's how little there is. Next up is her SPF 40 sunscreen. Now, this product was all over my tags in social media. People were tagging me in it all day long, wanting to know what my thoughts on this sunscreen are, which I'm honestly really thankful for you guys for doing that. Thank you, because I don't know if I would have made this video had I not seen that sunscreen coming out. It was very popular, and I love how you guys are always so critical about sunscreens, because you should be critical. It's the most important part of your skincare routine, and you want to be very picky about what you use. But I have to say, this is only a little bit better than the last formula, and I am a little bit like sus of this product because it's a nearly identical copy to the Supergroup Unseen sunscreen, which is a really innovative formula known for being kind of game-changing in the industry. And while no one has like full rights to this type of formula, I do think you shouldn't like turn around and make almost an exact duplicate of it. The reason why people really like this one is because it's like a silicone primer type of sunscreen. It goes on invisibly onto the skin. It feels like nothing. It blurs your pores, looks and feels amazing, but it uses the same chemical UV filters as the previous sunscreen and is basically an exact dupe for Supergroup Unseen sunscreen. So I'm not super picky about dupes, but I'm like, girl, at least like put a little twist on it, make it your own, do something different. And the funny thing is that the second this product came out, everyone knew what it was a dupe of. Do I dislike this one as much as the last one? No, I still think this formula is better because you don't have to worry about the alcohol or the fragrance or the palm oil, but I still would recommend other sunscreens instead. If you are looking for good sunscreen recommendations that have zero white cast, feel like a moisturizer, are super lightweight and work for any skin type, try the Purito Unscented Centella SPF 50 or the Dear Claire Soft UV Airy Essence SPF 50. If you have more normal to dry skin, I'd say try the Purito one, and if you have more combination of oily skin, try the Dear Claire's one. I promise they will change your life. Every single day I have people tag me on Instagram saying, Hyram, why didn't I buy this before? And I'm like, I don't know, bitch, I've only been cramming it down your throat for like years on end. No, I'm kidding, I'm not upset. I'm just happy to see anyone who does like my recommendations, but I just would personally recommend those. You don't have to worry about the risk of sensitivity, and you're saving money because they're cheaper. All right, next up we have the vitamin C serum. I don't know when this one came out. Kind of took me by surprise when I was preparing for this video, not gonna lie. The serum is very simple and includes a stabilized form of vitamin C. Stabilized forms of vitamin C are beneficial in the sense that they don't go bad really easily like regular ascorbic acid. One of the main reasons that I'm not crazy about vitamin C in my skincare routine, although I think the benefits of it are amazing. But the problem with the stabilized form of vitamin C is that it essentially has to go through extra steps to be able to be absorbed by your skin. And the skin is already a difficult thing to penetrate. Okay, that was the most awkward thing I have ever done on my channel. I will never do that again. I'm so sorry. And there's little to no research actually done on stabilized forms of vitamin C, so we really don't know how effective they actually are on the skin. Besides that, the other good ingredient this has is glycerin, and the rest of the good ingredients are below the 1% line. So you're really only getting your bang for your buck for 2 ingredients. On the good side, it is fragrance free, but honestly, looking at this ingredient list, I was pretty disappointed because you could really get a comparable, even better result with like the ascorbyl glucoside solution by The Ordinary for way cheaper and a similar simple ingredient list. And I don't know, to me, if you're going to charge that price point for a product, you have to really back it up with a good formula. And while not every ingredient needs to be at a really high concentration, I mean, 2 ingredients above the 1% line, that's kind of pathetic. So overall, I just pass on this one. Next is her very controversial foaming face wash. Now, I do remember looking at this ingredient list, and one of the reasons it became so controversial is because people noticed over time that the formula itself started to really darken and looked like it was going bad, which is not a good look. Most brands aim to not have their products do that, even though for some ingredients and some formulas, it's a very natural cycle for your product to change color, change pigment, even though it won't actually affect the formula. And that's usually due to like natural extracts that are formulated in a product that just happen to change in appearance over time. But I will say, looking at this ingredient list, I was a little bit surprised that that was the common experience because it's a very, very simple ingredient list. The cleansing agents that she uses are mediocre at best. It has glycerin, but it's the 5th ingredient on the ingredient list, as opposed to like a lot of good cleansers I like out there at a drugstore price point, where glycerin is the 2nd or 3rd ingredient. It does have kiwi seed oil, but it's at the end of the ingredient list, so it's pretty negligible. Definitely don't buy this product or most of her products based off of the kiwi oil advertisement, because it's rarely in a high concentration in any of these products. And what particularly bothers me about that is that fragrance on this product is listed way above kiwi seed oil, but in the promotional pictures, you see pictures of kiwis alongside the cleanser. I hate it when they say we have this incredible ingredient that does this, 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 and then you look at their actual ingredient list and it's at the very bottom. Now, not every ingredient needs to be at a high concentration, but when it comes to natural extracts like that, typically you want it to be above a 1% mark. Less than 1% for a non-active is pretty embarrassing. Finally, I just have to say, I really don't know why the formula does change color. And I know on the website it says that this is normal, it happens, and it doesn't mean that the product is no longer working. And I will say I trust that because I don't know the chemistry behind what types of ingredients mix together and change the pigment of a formula, and if that's actually good or bad, etc., etc. Honestly, only chemists who have created this formula or have a deep knowledge of every single ingredient out there would know that. But I will say, based off of my very limited knowledge, I really don't know why it would have changed color. It's kind of bizarre to me, and again, not a great look. Is this a terrible product from the line? No, I wouldn't say so. Is it great? No, I wouldn't say so. I think there's better cleansers out there. For example, if you do like the foaming cleanser effect, I would recommend the iUnique Centella Foaming Cleanser. It has 69%. Okay, why is this video so perverted? My brain clearly has not left 6th grade. What is wrong with me? It has 69% Centella Asiatica extract, one of my favorite ingredients for soothing the skin, and has a comparable ingredient list, but it's a lower price point and just is way better for your skin while still getting that foaming experience. So honestly, I would recommend overlooking this product. Next up is a recent find, the Hydrating Lip Mask. I didn't even know that they had hydrating lip masks until I started prepping for this video, but I do love looking for some good hydrating lip mask formulas because mama's lips are always dry. The struggle is unfortunately fucking real. As for ingredients I like, this has hydrogenated polyisobutane, which is a good ingredient for preventing transepidermal water loss, the process by which we lose water through our skin, and it increases dryness and aging and all these problems that we don't want to deal with. And it has shea butter, a good but pretty standard hydrating ingredient for the skin. However, the flavor and aroma is listed very high up on the ingredient list, and unfortunately there are so many good hydrating oils in this formula, but they all fall way below the fragrance, flavor, and aroma of this product, which is disappointing because I'm like, look, if you're going to put all these good ingredients in, at least make them above fragrance. And I really don't have a problem with fragrance in lip formulas because our lips handle so much irritation every single day from all the different types of foods that we eat, so our lips can take a punch. But to see it formulated in this way is just disappointing to me. If you do want a good recommendation for a lip mask, the Primera Clean Berry Lip Mask continues to be my all-time favorite. It really is one of those where you leave it on overnight and then when you wake up in the morning, you're like, wow, my lips are actually nourished and healthy. And it's a great experience. By the way, all the products that I'm mentioning as substitutes are listed in the description box below. If you do want to support me and my channel, I would really appreciate it if you shopped from those links, but no pressure. They're just there as a resource. Feel free to use them if you want to or don't want to. And then we come down to the final 2. First up, the face moisturizer. I do remember for a time briefly possibly considering buying this product. In terms of good ingredients, this one actually has a lot. It has propanediol, which is great for moisturizing and hydrating the skin, jojoba oil being one of my favorite oils out there, glycerin, shea butter, dimethicone, which is really good silicone to protect transepidermal water water loss and does not, unlike popular belief, clog your pores. Dimethicone is fine for your skin. The almond oil oat extract, which is an incredible ingredient for hydrating and reducing sensitivity in the skin. Banana extract, which is an antioxidant that I rarely see in any products, and a concentrated form of hyaluronic acid, sodium hyaluronate. Overall, I was impressed by this ingredient list. The only thing I don't like is that it does have orange peel extract, but because it is an extract and it's the only fragrant ingredient that I can find in this formula, I think it's okay. This product does claim to be fragrance free, which I'm just like, I would not consider orange peel extract to be fragrance free, but you know, that definition is a little bit wishy-washy with a lot of people, so I won't hold it against them, and I do think this is one of the best products from the line. And then we come to what I believe to be the number one best product from Kylie Skin, the eye cream, and I will say I actually did purchase this one. After my video started really exploding where I bashed Kylie Skin and dragged her name through the mud, I honestly felt a little bad, and I was like, you know what, I have probably cost the company like hundreds of thousands of dollars from that video. I feel really bad, and maybe like I should buy something from the company. And I ended up buying the eye cream because the ingredient list, I will say, it's really impressive. The second ingredient is jojoba oil, amazing for hydrating the skin. The third ingredient is shea butter. It has rice bran, propanediol, and they're all at the top of the ingredient list. So definitely a hydrating and moisturizing formula from the get-go. It has green tea for soothing, lactobacillus, great probiotic, caffeine, which is a great antioxidant ingredient for the under eye area, a good amount of kiwi oil. The only thing I'm a bit hesitant about is that mica and titanium dioxide, which are typically used to offer a little bit of a shimmer effect for the under eye area, are listed significantly above all the rest of the good ingredients, but it's an eye cream. A lot of people do want it to have a little bit of reflectiveness. I like my eye creams to have a little bit of reflectiveness, so again, I won't hold it over them. I was particularly intrigued. One of the main reasons I bought this product is because of the packaging. It has this type of applicator attached to the top, and typically I'm not a fan of applicators because they can reintroduce bacteria to the actual formula, but this one seemed to be fine. And when I tried it and I actually used it, it was fine. It wasn't anything revolutionary. I was like, you know what? Yes, this can technically work to apply your eye cream, but I ended up just putting it on my under eye area and tapping it in with my fingers regardless. But I do partially regret it, and I'll explain why later. I do, however, find it ironic that what I believe to be the best product from this brand isn't even necessary to a skincare routine. Like, eye creams are not necessary. You can use your moisturizer and get roughly the similar effect. Eye creams are really just used to make an additional buck, unless they have specific types of ingredients, but being that this eye cream really is only meant to hydrate the under eye area, it's not even necessary, and $24 for an eye cream is not the cheapest thing out there. So even though I say this is my favorite, I still, you know, in good faith, wouldn't really recommend it to other people. And there's also multiple reasons why I personally wouldn't recommend other people buy this brand, which is where we get into my final thoughts of the brand. In terms of things I do like about Kylie Skin, I like that she is focused on a Gen Z audience. I'm grateful that Gen Z have access to skincare when in generations past, skincare was just not accessible or knowledgeable to anyone. And I will always be grateful for brands who do market themselves to Gen Z to spread the importance of taking care of your skin. I also do like that the brand does have fragrance-free options. One of my biggest pet peeves in these Truth About videos is brands that never have fragrance-free options out there for people who have sensitivities. And Kylie Skin does a good job of actually balancing fragrance-free formulas with fragrance formulas. It's not perfect, but it's so much better than nothing, and I will commend the brand for that. And overall, I will say the rest of the products are not anywhere near as bad as the Walnut scrub. My first introduction to Kylie Skin was very, very bad. And part of me wonders if they did that intentionally to start drama and controversy, get the name really out there before they came out with better formulas. I have no idea. I mean, it's the Kardashians we're talking about here, but I'm grateful to see that they have improved since. But there are multiple reasons why I don't like this brand and why I wouldn't recommend it to other people. First off, I don't really get the vibe that Kylie is heavily involved in the creation of these products. I really just get the vibe that this has her name. She has a few specific ingredients that she wants to use, or she comes into the lab and says, I want the product to feel this way, and then leaves, and really doesn't have a hands-on approach. And I've seen brands like Rare Beauty and Fenty Beauty where the celebrities are very involved and seem to have a really good knowledge of the formulas that they've created. And with Kylie Skin, I mean, I never saw that. And based off of her speed to sell the majority shares of her brand, I don't really believe that she was really committed to it for the long run. I also don't like the brand because I feel like either one, the formulas are too basic, or two, they're too irritating for the skin. And even with the good products, I feel like they're okay at best, but I can find very similar ones at a drugstore price point, pay the same and a little bit more to get way more high quality formulas. And when I see a brand where their best products are just okay, it really turns me off to the brand overall. And then my final and main reason for supporting this brand, and if I get hate for it, so what? I am just not comfortable with the ethics of Kylie Jenner. I don't feel comfortable with her consistent exploitation and use of Black culture to sell products and create a brand for herself when Black women are ridiculed every day for the same things that she's popular for. And because of that, I do have to say, I regret buying the eye cream. I definitely don't feel like Kylie Jenner is someone I would want to support monetarily. And you know, I try to be as ethically and morally objectively driven as possible, and seeing the behaviors of Kylie in the past and what she continues to exhibit, and the complete absence of apologies, not to mention utilizing black outrage as a marketing ploy, but that's a whole nother video. For that reason, I say that Kylie skin is not worth it. I don't believe you guys should buy it, and I feel like there's much better options out there. But what do you guys think? I want to hear your thoughts and opinions. Do you agree with me on the formula philosophies? Do you agree with me on the ethical philosophies? Remember, keep it respectful. You don't have to agree with me on that. That's just me, but yeah, I don't feel comfortable. And let me know what brand you want me to review next. And if you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to my channel and to the notification bell so that you can see my videos every single week, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Mwah.